This is good mood food. You might be thinking, this sounds basic as hell, but let me tell you, we're making a homemade sauce, which has a little hint of cayenne pepper in there. It's so flavorful. And then we're using pepper jack cheese and pickled jalapeños on top to make them a little bit extra spicy. They're so, so good. I love the sweetness from the pickled jalapeños, the spiciness and the sauce, and they're so easy. Dinner is on the table in 30 minutes. We're gonna start by chopping up our onion. I love this recipe because you could add a ton of veggies technically if you wanted. Sometimes I like to jazz it up by adding a little bit of zucchini, finely diced so that my kids don't know what's in there. Just a little bell pepper and onion for flavor is what we're doing. All right, we're gonna finely dice this onion. As fine as you can. So when I was growing up, my mom used to always make me sloppy joes. You guys remember manwich? You guys? Yeah. Who didn't love manwich? But I always wanted to make a version at home that was just as delicious and saucy, but didn't have all that weird shit in it. So I decided to start experimenting and I came up with this recipe. And honestly, the first time I made it, Tony and I were so blown away. We couldn't stop making them and we started doing different versions, some with more barbecue sauce, some with ketchup. Every single time they just hit and they're so easy. It's like 30 minutes from start to finish. Great weeknight meal and my boys love them. What if the entire video was just me just heavy breathing in the background? I love sloppy joes so much. I am not on OnlyFans. Okay. Chop your bell pepper. Give it a nice chop, very fine. Some garlic. You can do a lot or a little garlic. I'm only using 2 cloves here, but I don't know why. I should be using like 6, so shame on me. Let's make these sloppy joes. Ready to make the sloppy joes? We're gonna start by putting our pan over medium-high heat. You're gonna add in some oil. For this recipe, to keep it a little bit lighter and more lean, a little bit ambitious kitchen flair, I like to use a ground chicken or turkey. It's just my preference. Oh, we gotta do the veggies first. I'm gonna add all of the veggies in here and that garlic. And we'll saute this until the onions begin to become translucent and soften up a bit. I'm gonna season this with a little bit of salt. When you cook, you always want to do layers of seasoning. So with every single thing you're cooking, you're adding salt and pepper, and that's to really just bring out the flavor of these. Where's my pepper? Oh, there it is. Some people say that you shouldn't hide vegetables, but my kids eat like 3 veggies max, so we're putting them where we can. We're adding more nutrition, making it good for you. All right, we're gonna add in the turkey. Push the veggies to the side of the pan. I'm just gonna make like a hole in the middle. And then you can add in that ground turkey or chicken. Then I like to use one of these handy little things. This is called like a meat masher maybe? I don't know, I found it on Amazon and it's so amazing for breaking up the meat, especially when you're working with something that's like a leaner meat. You just get it nice and super small, so I love this. Just kind of start to work at it. And you can work the bell peppers and the onions into the meat mixture so that it really absorbs some of that flavor. Raw meat. Everyone's favorite. Sometimes I feel like there should be like a disclosure on Instagram where it's like, caution, raw meat. We're gonna add a little bit more salt to the meat mixture, some pepper. Again, seasoning as we go so we can make sure that these sloppy joes are uber flavorful. We're gonna make a homemade sloppy joe sauce, which is one of the reasons that this is so, so good. So it's basically just a little bit of ketchup. We're using Heinz, but honestly, if you guys have ever had the Trader Joe's ketchup, it is life-changing. So you could use a low sugar ketchup if you wanna make these low sugar. And I like to turn this to like a medium low, so we're not burning anything. Add in your ketchup. We're using a little bit of barbecue sauce. When I'm not making these for my kids, I like to use a spicy barbecue sauce just to kick up the flavor a little bit. But you could use whatever barbecue sauce you have on hand. A little barbecue sauce. a little Worcestershire. Somebody tell me how to say that. A little bit of that, just to bring the umami flavor to it. A little bit of yellow mustard. And red wine vinegar, which isn't in front of me. And then a little red wine vinegar. Just to bring the acidity to this. Not a lot. It looks like it, but I'm not sure. Nope. Okay. But you could also use apple cider vinegar. That works. So mix this in, coat every little bit of that turkey or chicken. Smells incredible. If you're making this for somebody who likes a super sweet sloppy joe, like I'm talking manwich version, then you could absolutely add like a squeeze or two more of ketchup. And then what we're gonna do is add in a little bit of water, and we're just gonna let this simmer until everything is absorbed and the flavors start to concentrate and this thickens up, kind of like what you would do with like a taco meat. And that's it. Bring it to a little simmer. Because this is an adult only sloppy joe version, I am adding pepper jack cheese on top. If I would have been able to find my favorite habanero cheddar, I would have used that. I think it's Cabot that makes it, and it is so good. And because it's still hot, it's just gonna melt into that sauce and get nice and stretchy and delicious and literally coat every single bite. This is really taking a long time. It's sexy, right? Your favorite. Let this simmer for a couple minutes until the cheese melts, and then get plating. We are ready to get this party started. These look absolutely incredible. So I like to use some seedy buns just to keep it a little bit more nutritious. But you could use a white bun, whatever you prefer. Plate these up. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Drippy, sloppy, extra sloppy. The thing about sloppy joes is they're meant to be sloppy, right? So just don't worry about making them perfect. And then I love to finish these off with some pickled jalapeños. They're not too sweet, they're not too spicy, they're the perfect balance for these. And then also sometimes what I like to do, especially if it's the summer, is to serve these with a nice slaw. I just think it brings it together really nice, and then you just get that crunch element. So up to you, friends. Most of the things you see on my channel will either be sweet or spicy. It's who I am at my core. So if you like it, you can like and subscribe. All right, this looks perfect and so fun. Look at that. I'm telling you. Extra sloppy. Slop in my mouth. I don't know about you, but sloppy joes always put me in a good mood.